Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for your visit. The debate on whether to go for a public sector bank or a private sector bank for your investments or for any of your banking services, the debate is always raging fresh. Previously, it was only the question of what is the differential rate of interest one is offering over the other. Now, the accent is more on the services because the rates have by and large have been frozen. I had two experiences in the recent months, which again forced me to make a comparison between private sector bank and the public sector banks. I've been having a credit card, I can name the bank, with Citibank for close to 20 years now. I've been a very disciplined customer, making the payment well before the due date, and so far I have never availed any extra services from them. Recently, what happened is that Citibank India operations have been taken over by the Axis Bank. So, instead of making the usual payment, I have to change the payee from Citibank to Axis Bank. So, while making that change, if you could see on the screen, the bill was around 66,000 or something. I didn't want to take a chance and uh, remit such huge amount into a new account. So the due was around 66,339. So I made a nominal payment of 31 rupees just to ensure that it goes into the right account. And immediately within a few minutes, I got the acknowledgement that the payment has been received. So there is a balance of 66,300 to be made. By oversight, instead of 66,300, I made a payment of 63,300 simply by oversight. So when the subsequent bill came, I saw some two entries which said debit interest of about 4,100 and the GST on that for about 750 rupees, totaling about 5,000 rupees. Normally, I reconcile just at a glance whether all the debits are in accordance with my spending, but I found these two to be somewhat tricky. Then, when I analyzed, I found that I have made a short payment of 3,000 rupees instead of 66,300. I have made a payment of 63,300 only. So, for a short payment of 3,000 rupees, almost about 5,000 has been levied as a interest as well as for the GST. I can't blame the bank for that. It is purely my mistake, but somehow it is hard for me to accept that I have made that mistake and I have to pay through the nose virtually. But considering the previous records, etc., I thought, okay, why don't we talk to the bank concerned? So I rang up the toll free number and I explained to them. I told them that I'm a very disciplined customer with them, etc., etc. But the gentleman at the other end was very quick to find out and said, "Sir, you have been a very uh, uh, prompt customer in making the payments. So I could see that you have a very clean record. I was very happy about it. So, gentlemen, this is what exactly I want the bank to understand. Because maybe because of oversight or whatever it you call it, I have ignorantly made a short payment for which I have been levied this much of amount. So I request you to consider my past record and exempt this if it is possible. I am not going to blame the bank for this. This is my mistake, but it is up to you to use your discretion and do it. The moment I told, the person said, "Okay, sir, we have made a registered your request, and you will hear from us within 4 working days or 6 working days." So I made the payment complaint on the 2nd of June. I was waiting. On the 4th of June, I got some messages saying that the interest charge has been reversed and the GST charge has also been reversed. That is, what they have levied as 5,000 rupees has been reversed just within 48 hours. More than that, you can see on the screen at 8:10 p.m. on that day, I got a mail saying that your service request has been accepted and has been processed successfully. I was delighted, not for the amount alone, but the way in which Even though the mistake was on my part, on the customer part, the bank would empathize with the customer and make a judgment call based on the past record. And they were kind enough to reverse a 5,000 rupees, which is not a small amount for a senior. So, this is where I felt that Axis Bank stood out in understanding the customer's difficulty and also reversing. By just reversing a 5,000 rupees, I sincerely feel that the bank has earned the customer's goodwill and a long-standing association with the bank. I'm really thankful to the Axis Bank for such consideration. Almost at the same time, I had another experience with another bank, which happens to be a nationalized bank. I have two small deposits with that bank from which every month a monthly interest used to come. A small amount, 1,456, and another deposit about 1,092. I have given a statement here, extracted the statement here. Every month I used to get this. On the 30th of April, instead of 1,456, I got a 1,411. And the other account also, instead of 1,062, 1,092, I had a 1,058. So a shortfall of 45. It's a small amount. But just I wanted to know whether any TDS has been detected. So when I checked, the entry said TDS is 0. So I wanted to know why this reduction in the deposit interest. I just spoke to the manager concerned. He said, sir, I think I'm not sure about it. Anyhow, I will inquire. But please send me a mail on that so that I follow. He was very good. So I sent a mail to him on the 5th of May, pointing out these and wanted to check. On the 6th, he promptly replied that the flow seems to be okay, but some other problem is there. And he has said that I have lodged a complaint with the higher authorities. I will intimate you shortly. This is on the 6th of May. Until the 2nd of June, I have not heard anything from them. And I sent a very polite email reminder saying that is there any update on the short credit that you have made. On the 31st of May, they have added that shortfall and credited. That means they have made a mistake and they have also reversed it. Fine with that. I have no problem with that. Can't you just send an acknowledgement saying that your request is being processed? And when once that has been done, saying that yes, that has been reversed and now it has been set right. This is where I found the huge difference between the public sector bank and the private sector. The communication part of it. Number one, you have to acknowledge. Number two, you have to keep the customer updated about what is happening. And number three, whether the issue has been resolved or not. I find that the nationalized bank was found wanting on that. Even though you can see the two instances, one was the customer's mistake and the bank was very prompt to support. The other one is the bank's mistake where the customer has pointed out. They have not even cared to acknowledge or do anything, simply rectifying the defect silently and not doing anything. Normally, the banks have a habit of throwing the blame on the system. They will say, I don't know, the system errors, the system has generated. Please spare the customers of this. I'm sorry, it's an unacceptable reason. The banks used systems for your own purposes. You never consulted the customer about using a computer. You never checked with the customer whether they are comfortable with that. Still, there are customers who are going to the bank. They are not doing internet banking, etc. So, please don't put the blame on the system. Whatever entry is being made, the bank is accountable and not the computer. Computer is a tool that you are using for your own purposes. Maybe some customers may find that useful also. Personally, I find it very useful, but doesn't mean that one's mistake has to be swept under the carpet of that innocent system. This is where the difference between the public sector bank and the private sector bank, I found at least to be very, very caping here. I feel the nationalized banks have a long way to go in that. I'm sure they are going to catch up with that. Normally, the service providers say that if you find anything good with us, please tell others. That's what exactly I'm doing with respect to Axis Bank, saying that they have done an exemplary service. And the service providers will say if there is anything wrong, or if you find any shortfall in our services, please tell us. I am not naming the public sector bank deliberately, but I have written to the bank's executives pointing out this with the earnest hope that they are going to correct their approach to the customers. They might have corrected the entry, but their approach to the customer still has a long way to go. I hope this is a good lesson we have to learn from the banks, of course. Thanks for your time.